It's my first time here in Seattle, and I love Filson. So I'm here at the headquarters of Filson, which started right here in 1897 to outfit all the people that were coming up for the gold rush. Many things have changed, but some things haven't. And I'm here to find a pair of trousers that are a classic pair of trousers, very practical, made out of something called tin cloth. I live in a very small apartment in New York City. I don't have a lot of space. So when I'm acquiring something new, I really try to find the best quality possible. And often when something is made really well, it looks great, but it starts to look better as you break it in, as you use it year after year after year. This leather bag I've had for over 20 years. It was handmade for me. I got it at a craft sale, and I actually saw the leather maker's bag on a bench, which was beautiful. It was buttery and soft. And I asked if that was for sale. And he was like, no, I made that 40 years ago. But if I make you a bag, this is what it will look like in 40 years. And this is really what has happened with this bag. I've written on the inside every city that it has been to in the world, starting with Ellsworth, Maine, back in like 2008. And just documented its journey on the inside flap. And this thing, like, look at the way the leather has patinaed over the years. This was all stiff and shiny when it was first made. My whole thing is finding something that is really well made and then actually earning the patina and the beauty that comes with wear and tear. In order for that to happen, though, the thing has to withstand abuse. It has to withstand wear and tear, which means that it needs to be really well made. And the reason I love coming to Filson is because the stuff is really made to last. It's made to actually go out into the wilderness and to be walking through the bush with your layer of protection on and to not have the clothing shred or tear. So they have something here at Filson called tin cloth, which is a waxed cotton. And the waxed cotton is really durable. It repels water, but because the cloth is also sealed, people that are working out in the bush can walk through really rough terrain and the cloth isn't going to rip. It's not going to shred and tear. I love tin cloth. I wear it when it's raining in New York, and over time, the sort of the wax from the cotton comes out of the cloth and it needs to be waxed again. But it's this sort of waxing it and using it and waxing it and using it that makes it really, really beautiful. Look at this over here. This is a very well-used, well-worn tin cloth jacket. I don't know how old this is, but the wonderful thing about the headquarters here is that they have old things on display to show you what their stuff will look like with genuine use. And my tin cloth jacket does not look anything like this, but similar to my bag, the goal and the inspiration is to actually use the stuff to make it worthy of this look. These bags over here. So I walked in here, and this, although it's a store, it's also a museum of Filson things that go back over 100 years. So there's the new cotton twill and leather satchel, and here's the old version. And I just I'm drooling when I'm walking around here because I can relate. I can relate to something just being so well loved and so used that it becomes extremely beautiful. There are so many things in this store that are also made right here in Seattle. And what's really beautiful, it just puts a big grin on my face, is being able to see them making the garments and the bags right here. The other day, I was back there. They were taking their lunch break, and one of the ladies that was working at her sewing machine was singing a folk song in her native language, and it was really beautiful. My mom had a business making curtains when I was growing up, and she had these Juki machines, which would be going at night while we slept. So they bring back fond, nostalgic memories whenever I see them. I did not expect to have a sort of self-guided museum tour while walking through the headquarters of Filson. I thought I was just here for shopping, but all over the store are these wonderful cases mounted on stands or on the walls showing old garments. And the amazing thing is that many of the things that are in the cases made from the 20s or the 30s have not changed in their cut. You can see a jacket in the case and then go into the shop and it's basically the same jacket that's for sale. And I love that, like this jacket right here. Look at this thing, it's so beautiful. I love like old things. I wear tweed suits all winter in New York. So the very fact that I could actually walk into a shop and pull something off the rack that hasn't changed in 100 years is so perfect for me. So I'm just having such a wonderful time looking in all of these cases at the beautiful old examples of Filson clothes. In this case is something really special. There's a Filson leather belt from 1985 accompanied by a beautiful handwritten letter. I'm going to read the letter for you. January 18th, 2021. Dear Filson, enclosed, please find one 17-year-old Filson belt I bought at Ray's Sports in Plainsfield, New Jersey. This belt has literally seen every game field on 4 out of 7 continents. It was used to haul out game, tie up antlers to otter planes, and used as an arm sling to help an Eskimo back to our village with a broken arm. It was also used as a makeshift dog leash to scout a feral dog from church back in '85. Yet all this combined does not come close to the day when this belt was used to bring an elderly man and his wife safely across the Hudson River in a ferry boat on 9/11. They were so afraid of losing each other in the choking dust that I simply looped one end on the woman's wrist and gave the open end to her husband. And this part of the letter is covered. Although so many of my cop friends died that day, I'm not a firefighter or even a first responder for that matter. I just found my way to the ferry and helped those coming from NYC to New Jersey side of the Hudson. Filson can keep this belt well used as it is for whatever they care to do with it. As soon as this pandemic is put to an end, I'll be buying a new one for sure. Having anything from Filson is like a man's good reputation. You own it for life. Very truly yours, John Janelli. I mean, that's what that's one of the wonderful things about really acquiring something of quality is that you can trust that it's going to hold up. And I just think it's incredible that this belt is in this case accompanied by this letter. It's a piece of history. I'm here with Drew Hammonds, who is the manager of the repairs department at Filson. I had no idea that there was a repair department, but I love this so much because it speaks to quality.
Yep.
And this is the thing that I'm always seeking when I'm purchasing something new. Is it quality? And the sign, one of the signs of the quality of this brand is that you can buy something. Some of the things are under warranty, some of them are not.
Yep.
But either way, if the thing is under warranty and it breaks, you send it here, they repair it. If it's not under warranty and it's very sentimental to you, I could send that in and also pay to have it repaired. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yeah, you can send it in and then customer service will then work with that guest to see if they can find another resolution, if not a paid repair.
That's wonderful.
Yep.
I was here a little while ago and the gentleman over there was working on a really worn out bag, he had completely taken it apart and was replacing pieces that were just shot.
Yep.
So it was this beautiful patchwork of the old cloth and the new cloth, different colors.
Yep.
But I think that is so beautiful that that exists.
It's really cool.
Let's look at what you have laid out for us over here. We have the before and after.
Yeah, so let's start with the before. And as you can see, beautiful bag. You know, it's had some miles on it, and it's occurred some tears over the years.
Wow.
We have some on the bottom paneling here, some tears, and on the corners, which which is
I know all over here.
yeah, on a lot of the corners. So yeah, that tends to happen over time. And that's one of the ways you can send it into our department and they can patch it up or darn it, whatever needs to happen.
So this can be fixed?
Yes.
And how would you fix this? Because this is the sort of thing that fascinates me. I would just assume like, oh, this can't be fixed.
Yeah. It looks kind of like a difficult repair, right? But what they're able to do is get inside the bag itself. If you open it up, and what they're able to do is put a small piece of backing fabric behind it, and then they'll darn it over the top. And darning is a special reinforcement method at a diagonal pattern, which really ensures the structural integrity of the fabric, stronger than any other type of repair method.
And this bag has sort of problems all over.
Yep.
So it's the kind of thing that you might think, oh, this bag is shot, I just need to get rid of it and start anew. But as I was talking about earlier, look at how beautiful this is. This is so, I have the same bag in Navy. I have not, like I just started using it.
Right.
So it's nowhere near this version, but I would rather have it look like this.
Yeah, it really adds to the character of the bag and kind of tells a story about where you've been, what you've been up to.
Absolutely.
And then also we can extend the life of that bag.
I love that so much that this doesn't get thrown away. This it can keep going, and that you will like that possibility exists.
Absolutely.
Like, so let's look at the bag that has been repaired, because this is fascinating.
Yeah.
So this is what it looks like. Like, really, you might think, oh, nothing can be done. And then look at this. This is so, you wouldn't know unless you really looked close.
Yeah, you really got to get up close. And you can see the diagonal darning pattern here that adds extra strength to the backing fabric, giving it much more, longer life to it. And just it has a really good look to it, adds character. Also, it speaks to the sustainability aspect of what repairs offers to all of our bags and repairs. And instead of having to throw things out, you can just send it here and have it repaired.
I love that. I love that it's possible. And you're not just doing darning, like anything, right?
For the most
hardware.
part, yeah, we do hardware, all kinds of snaps, zippers. We have these D-rings for shoulder straps, hardware that we replace.
So if a zipper stops working, we can send it in and have the zipper replaced.
Most of the time, yeah.
Love that. You have a piece of garment history on a mannequin behind us. Let's look at that.
We do. So here's a really cool piece that we've had that stood the test of time. 80 years old wool work jacket. That is just a really beautiful piece, and it really highlights the repairs department ability to restore and extend life of garments that have been passed down for generations.
So this one has not been worked on, right?
Not yet.
It needs to be worked on.
It needs to be worked on.
I was shown how this works. Every piece that comes in here gets a sheet like this, which is very detailed. There are all these boxes, and for this one, it's a piece of apparel. There's like a little box that says cuff right. And for cuff right, it details how many holes are in that cuff. There's one hole in cuff right. In liner left, there's one hole. In liner right, there's 3 holes. So it is extremely thorough. And then after the repairs that are needed have been assessed, and on this sheet, the garment goes to one of these skilled workers here who actually does the work. And I mean, to look at this and to be able to see visibly where are these moth holes or wear and tear. A lot of these pieces are family heirlooms.
Yeah.
They get passed down generation to generation. So to know that this could have been my grandfather's wool coat and that I will be able to wear it after sending it here, that is so wonderful.
Yeah.
I really commend this company for having the ability to do that and to keep it going.
Absolutely.
Not only are you making things in this very building here in the USA, but you really have a promise to a customer that if they invest in your quality made goods, you're going to keep that going.
Absolutely.
I don't think a lot of people know that the term outfitters the term outfitters meant a company would outfit you for an expedition.
Yeah.
And here it was the gold rush.
Yep.
The Filson was outfitting the people that came up for the gold rush, but American Eagle, Abercrombie and Fitch historically were outfitters, and they are no longer outfitters. They make clothes that college frat boys wear and look great, but you are still outfitters. Is that correct?
That's correct.
You make gear for fishing. You make duffel bags. The tin cloth, I was told, I can still wear it into the bush.
Yeah.
And it will not rip.
Yep.
And if it does, it will be repaired.
Yep.
But you're making things to genuinely be used in their original form.
That's it.
Is that like? I love that. I love that so much.
Very cool.
Now you know. You get something Filson, you fall in love with it, or you have something that's Filson from your family, and if it needs some work, this is where to send it.
That's right.
Thanks, Drew.
Thanks for showcasing our awesome team here.
Of course.
Yep.
Thank you. This is John Duce, who is lead craftsman at the Filson workshop, and I am in heaven right now because this feels like a playroom. Yeah, I was taken for a tour the other day when you weren't here, and when I came into this room, I was like, I don't want to leave. Wait, I want to look at things. There's stuff all over the place. There's leather and canvas. And John, what do you do here?
Yeah, so I've been with Filson for 8 years, working in the workshop here. We cut and sew back here. This is where most of our work is done, where we develop and make unique one-off sort of collectible Filson pieces.
Yeah.
In addition to working with the design team and others within the company to kind of collaborate on unique offerings.
One of the things that they do back here, which is so inspiring to me, is you take old things and you look at them, right? And then you either kind of start making them again exactly as they were made, or you put your own spin on them. And that speaks to my whole reason for being. I think things were so beautifully made in the past. They were not just made to be useful, but there was this element of beauty. And like I have a cast iron that I used at a historic site, and it had a swan handle.
Cool.
And there was no reason that the handle needed to be a swan. But I do, when I look at the thing, I think, when it's sitting on a shelf not being used, it's beautiful.
Sure.
And I love that is being cultivated in this room, that you're bringing that to life. Something that's seemingly asleep or even dead. It's not dead, it's just sleeping, and you guys kind of wake it up.
For sure. You know, cool. You can take, this is just one of my, I don't use it as much anymore, but this was a quick apron that I just really, really whipped together. And this is based off an old historical piece too, with the binding. There's no hardware or anything on it, so it just ties up very simply.
Yep.
And rests on your shoulders rather than your neck.
Mm-hmm.
You know, something like this is what I would use a lot in the workshop.
And these thread through here?
Yeah.
Can you actually put it on for us, please?
So what it does is, you know, if I'm working with some leather dressing or leather dye, something I don't want to get all over my clothes.
Yep.
You know, you can see where I actually
Oh, wow.
have.
That is very nice.
So it's fully adjustable just by pulling on this. This is a very simple design where a lot of aprons tend to be overthought. Where
Well, then they're always too long. Like when I usually
this could be worn like this if you wanted. Some people like to wear them low.
Yep.
Personally, you know, I'll yank on this a whole bunch.
I want one.
And and it can be tied. It can be tied from the back. Some people like tying it from the back. Other folks, you can see all the wear lines here. I just tie it up front.
Can we see what it looks like on the back?
So it rests on your shoulders instead of your neck. It kind of alleviates some of that. I've never really loved how aprons tend to rest on the neck. This wears more like a backpack.
That is really beautiful. And this is that thing. It's a completely utilitarian garment, but the thought that has gone into the design. Like it's where the design meets function, and the pairing of those two things inadvertently creates something aesthetically beautiful.
This at one point had a full tool section here. You can see where I held my pens there. I ripped it off because I don't like keeping my pens
In
on
there.
my chest.
Yeah.
So, you know, and that's when you mention some of those older designs. You know, we like to, you know, look at stuff like that. This is a Chore coat that Will and I produced based off looking at, you know, what's been done in the past. Chore coats are devilishly simple jacket that can be worn both sort of as an apron or as a statement piece. And they lend themselves to just beautiful simplicity. It's just patch pockets, single layer, no insulation, minimal hardware,
unlined,
and just very, very straight, firm construction. Big triple needle flat fells here, and everything we make we number here. So this one was 55 of 125 on that.
Wow. So when was this made?
We did this one in 2019.
Okay.
We are going to be re-releasing that this block again here in the next couple months.
And this is the cloth that, if it is waxed, would become the tin cloth?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's called, what do you call it when it's unwaxed?
We just call it dry tin.
Dry tin.
But it's a plain weave canvas, 14 ounce. So
that is so. May I try this on?
Yeah, absolutely.
Please.
Try it.
I'm an extra small. The problem with visiting Filson for me, which is a serious problem, is I want everything. Like, I feel like when you find your brand, that is sort of the endearing thing, but also the problems. Everything I see, it feels great. It's so light.
So that's a nice overcoat, over jacket.
Yeah.
It's roomy. You could layer underneath and still be cozy with it. But
yeah. But even in the summer, I could feel like, oh, I could wear this outside and paint in this. Yeah. And the thing about these work coats or these work jackets or coveralls, which I do wear, or aprons, is that, as you saw with John's apron, they get more beautiful when you really use them. Yeah. And that's the whole thing about your brand, is that, like, this looks great now, but someone said to me, you have to earn it.
Yeah.
Like, you can buy this vintage stuff that's all covered in grime and whatever, but the person buying it that way has not earned the honor of the wear and tear.
For sure.
Whereas when you do it yourself, like, oh, I could totally see this covered in paint and dye and all kinds of things. That's,
the patina lends to a story.
Is the cut of this based on a historic garment? Like this detail down here?
Yeah, so there's elements that you'll see in there. The sort of cuff we did there was reference to some older Chore coats.
Like, this is a very unusual cuff. I personally have never seen a cuff like this where it flares out almost like a man's shirt collar. That's the pattern piece looks like that, with these two buttons over here.
Yep.
It's.
And then we did, leather washers in the back of the hardware, which is just a nice little.
Wow.
So, this pocket here, back in the day would be used for pocket watch. That sort of thing.
Really?
It's a secure pocket without being overly secure, meaning it's easy to get in and out of, but if you popped your pocket watch in there, if you kind of leaned over to pick up a tool or something, it wouldn't go flying out.
Wow, I've seen this before, and I have a couple things with this kind of pocket, but I didn't know that that's what it's for.
Yeah, we built that pocket size around a Zippo.
Oh, really?
So it fits a Zippo perfect.
And it won't fall out of here.
It won't fall out. So.
That is beautiful.
I'm basically going to the kitchen cupboard, and I'm opening it up and saying, what can I make with that? Where design, they do it the opposite. They buy the ingredients to put in the kitchen cupboard and make the perfect birthday cake.
Yep.
I'm like, can I make a birthday cake with tarragon?
I see.
So I kind of have to reverse engineer a few things. I have to think a little differently, working with what I got rather than ordering what I need. Now there's inspiration everywhere, and looking to the past is the easiest. This has got very, very just simple design where it's just binding runoff for the ties. So something like this would be a very early beginning of what would be a final workshop piece. Pull elements from this. This pocket shape's kind of nice. Oh, this is a selvage piece. Maybe let's work selvage into it.
Find stuff like this on your own? Is it given to you?
Yeah, we'll pick them. There's a place in Tacoma I like to go to. He's got a bunch of vintage pieces. But yeah, anytime I'm at flea markets or vintage stores or antique dealers, you know, you look to that stuff for big inspiration.
Look at
This is made out of this canvas here. You know, you talk about patina and history. This canvas initially was from a World War II U.S. Marine Corps ditty bag. Rather than throwing that bag away, someone saved it and sold it to me at a yard sale for $5, and I gave it a new life by making it in this cute little tool bag.
That's great.
So there's a lot of that we do here. In addition to making, you know, very fine leather goods. You know, this is shell Cordovan from Horween in Chicago.
Wow.
Vegetable tan, so it'll patina really, really well. This is just a quick little sample.
Are you making this currently or no?
Not currently.
Did you hand stitch this?
It's all hand punched and hand stitched. Same, you know, this is also, I just finished this one maybe a week ago.
You made this?
So that's all hand punched and stitched. Horween unglazed natural finish. And I have, this will end up being probably in 6 months or less. It'll surpass this color. It'll get down into that color.
Really? Is this stuff available in the shop?
Sometimes on the floor.
Yep.
We're looking to do a little bit more leather moving forward. We've done a bunch in the past, but we kind of tabled that for a moment, and then we'll be bringing more fine leather goods back.
Yeah. Like, look at this detail.
So you'll see how shiny and burnished and slicked those edges are. That takes a little bit of work there.
It's a problem.
Yeah.
Because I want this. I want this too.
Yeah, it's fun. It's special. There's people that come from all over the world to check out Filson headquarters here in Soto. And a big benefit of that is getting one-off pieces like this on the floor.
Well, now you know. So if you venture out here, bring your pocketbook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make sure you got a couple extra bills in there.
One of the questions that I'm often asked is, how do you recognize quality? How do you know quality? And this is something that has been a little difficult for me to answer because we do not live in the age now where the average person can run their hand along a piece of wool and know that it's good quality.
Yeah.
They just don't know. But what I have been telling people is, unfortunately, you have to trust the brand. For many years, I spun wool on a spinning wheel at a historic site. We sheared the sheep.
Cool.
I got to sort the fleece.
Yeah.
So I would pick the staple length for spinning.
Cool.
And the parts of the fleece that were not appropriate for spinning would go off and be carded for wool batting for a quilt.
Sure.
Now, however, you can buy a bolt of cloth, or you can buy two bolts of cloth that look exactly the same. One is made of short fibered wool, and one is made of long stapled wool, and no one would ever know.
Yeah.
But you wear both, and within a couple weeks, if it starts to pill, that's the short fibered wool. I know this because I spun wool for over 10 years, but people don't know. So what I say now is, unfortunately, you have to try to test a brand and see if it holds up and then stick with it.
Yeah.
And that really is, I mean, this is not an endorsement for Filson by any means, but the reason I'm here doing this is because I do believe in supporting a company that has integrity with quality. And the fact that this is made, all this stuff is being designed here. A lot of the things that are available in the shop are made in America, and that you stand by your goods.
Yeah.
That is enough for me to say, I stand by your company.
Yeah.
Because I love that. I love that that's available to a public that doesn't know.
You do have to, nowadays, take a little extra time, you know, understand where, to the best you can, where those natural fibers or where that leather is acquired from. Oh, it's from a tannery that's been around for 125 years in Pennsylvania. There's a little something there.
Yeah.
Let's explore this further. Being a consumer, it is on you in some ways, I think, to really get into it and learn about those things. I think that can help for sure.
It seems that a younger generation is becoming much more interested in learning.
Yeah.
And that is really inspiring to me. My parents' generation had some of the tools to be able to identify quality.
Yeah.
But there was sort of a lapse, especially with everything that's available with a click of a button on a screen, where you'll buy something without touching it. And I think it's really inspiring to know that this interest is growing. People want to know, and they want to know why it's good and how it's good, and then they're actually willing to pay for that if it's an option, if it's available.
Right.
So there's hope.
Yeah.
Well, thanks again, John.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. Been a pleasure.
I'm just so excited about what you do here.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Of course. So this is the tin cloth, and it comes in different colors. I have this jacket. This is the cruiser with the wool collar, and I am looking for a pair of trousers. This is what the cloth looks like when it's new. It's that plain cotton that has been penetrated with the wax, the oily wax, and you can kind of feel it, like it feels greasy on my fingers after touching it. This is water repellent right now, and as it's used and broken in, that stuff wears off and it has to be re-waxed. And it's this re-waxing and use that gives it this really beautiful broken in look eventually. This is just gonna get better and better and better with use. This is the Filson Mackinaw Cruiser, exactly like the one that was in the case out there, that is still being made here in the USA. It's beautiful. And it's this thing you can feel, well, I can feel from my wool experience. This is going to be so warm and wonderful for a cold winter, and tough. Like, the material is felted. It's been felted, which makes it a lot more durable and resistant to wear. Let's try this one on. Let's try it on. See how it looks. So this Mackinaw comes in this red and black plaid, which is like a classic, but it also comes in solid colors. They don't just have like the jackets, but they have vests too. And the vests there are a few different cuts. There's this plain. Let's find an extra small. Here's an extra small. I love these vests because they can be worn under any kind of jacket or just over a shirt like this.
Yeah.
This one zips up. Like, this is the modern version. like the updated version of the vest. Let's see what this looks like. Just feels like it would be so warm in the winter. But I'm gonna show you the other vest option that I love. This one. This one is so nice. So this buttons up as opposed to the zipper. Much more old-fashioned. And it has a collar, like a lapel collar. And a pair of really nice gloves that are lined with wool. These are goatskin gloves with a pure wool lining, and they fit perfectly, and they are so warm. I do have a glove problem. I buy lots of gloves because I wear through them. I wear gloves when I'm riding my bike all through the winter. I'm always wearing gloves from like October to the end of April sometimes. And when I see a pair of gloves that fit me really well and that are really good quality, I usually get them because I'll be using them eventually. So the takeaway from shopping today here at the headquarters of Filson in Seattle, a beautiful pair of goatskin gloves, this Mackinaw wool vest that feels very old-fashioned. Feels like something from the 19th century. I love it. And the tin cloth trousers that match a jacket that I also already have, which will be broken in, used, loved, waxed, re-waxed. All this stuff is just gonna get better with use because that's what happens with Filson.